How's it going, guys? Another edition of We Love Betting's Football League videos here with me, Chris Gale and Mark O'Hare. We're talking Football League, of course. It's back after the international break, with the Championship's back after the international break, and we found this lovely pub in North London with some great pictures of the clash behind us. And barmaid's thinking, what the hell are these guys talking into a phone about? But anyway, we must roll on. This is the fifth take, and straight into it, Mark. You are backing the team that you're backing against the team that everyone wants to oppose, and that is the utter mess, the soap opera-esque shambles of Blackpool.
Yeah, it's really, really boring. I've really got to apologise because it's such a boring pick. But when I'm also breaking my golden Football League rule, of course, of backing an away team at odds on in the Football League. But at 5-6, when you see Wolves to go away to Blackpool and win, should be shorter. Another turbulent and quite embarrassing week for Blackpool. Carl Houston coming out and criticising Jose Riga for going back to Belgium during the international break, which of course is a bit weird. But then he goes and approaches Gary Rowett for the manager's job, even though he's not sacked Riga and not spoken to Riga. It's all just such a shambles, embarrassment of the club at the moment. Quite interestingly, The Guardian did a piece this week in the Knowledge about the worst start to a season in consecutive defeats. It's 12. It's actually Manchester United.
Is it?
Yeah. So Blackpool have done 5 now in the league, so they're on their way. You look at their 2014 record, played 28 league games, lost 20, scored 14. It's just abysmal. Enough of them. Let's move on to Wolves, who've made such an encouraging start. Kenny Jackett, of course, manager I've got fond memories of. Really, really rate him as a guy. He's done a superb job with what he's done there. 4 wins from 5. And you think of the teams they've played. They've played the 3 teams coming down in Norwich, Cardiff and Fulham, as well as Blackburn. Kept 3 clean sheets in those 5 games as well. Deserves so much plaudits for the way he's kept that team defensively solid, but also got a threat going forward. And if you like head-to-head stats as well, they're all in Wolves' favour here. They've won 11 of the last 17 with Blackpool, and at Blackpool they've lost just once in 11, winning 6. They're 5-6 with Coral to win this game.
Wow, and of course Wolves are a team associated with consecutive promotions and relegations. Of course, they went down 2 years in a row a couple of years ago. They went from Division 1 to Division 4 and back up from Division 4 to Division 1, if my memory serves me correctly, Mark. So they're a team associated with consecutive really strong seasons or really poor seasons, so that might happen again. Could we see consecutive promotions for Wolves? Who knows? On to League One, a team who started the season really well were Crawley, but they've dropped off the pace massively in recent weeks, and they're involved in your second bet, Mark.
Yeah, if I was talking about a really boring pick to start with, hopefully this will interest people a bit more. 7-4 shot here from League One. Crawley taking on Fleetwood. You mentioned Crawley. I actually put them up for relegation, and they started the season with 2 wins from 2, but since failed to win. 4 consecutive defeats, 3 defeats to 0, right back down towards the bottom of League One, which is where I think they will probably stay for most of the season. Fleetwood, on the other hand, great start for them, sitting 3rd after promotion. 3 successive wins to start. They've actually only picked up 2 points from the last 3 games though, and failed to score twice. So rather than looking at unders, which is very, very short here, I'm looking at the half-time correct score market. The 0-0, 7-4 here. Crawley have scored only 3 in 6 league games so far this season, never more than once, and 4 of those 6 games have been goalless at half-time. The other 2 just been 1-0 either side. Last season, 7 of their 19 home games and 16 of 46 overall were 0-0 at half-time too. Moving on to Fleetwood, it's a very stat-heavy bet. Apologise on that. Fleetwood 3rd. They've only scored 6 goals in those 6 games. They have actually failed to score in 2 of the last 3, as we've mentioned, and 3 of their 6 games have been 0-0 at half-time too. The other 3, just 1-0 at half-time. If you want a few more stats to back this up, I mentioned the low-scoring nature of this game. 13 of 19 Crawley home games have now gone under, as well as 4 of 6 overall this season. 5 of Fleetwood's 6 games have also gone under 2.5, and 16 of 23 away games last season under 2.5. That's 8-11, but I like the 7-4 of a 0-0 half-time score of Paddy Power.
He puts the work in, doesn't he? Jeez, start heavy. I'm picturing Mark at 3 o'clock in the morning, next to his computer with his bed cap on, grinding the stats away. And his girlfriend said, "Come back to bed, Mark."
It's not quite as glamorous as that.
I'm whining you, I apologise. He'll punch me after this. Anyway, League 2, and an overs bet for Mark, a shade of odds on. It's the game, well, you tell me,
Accrington, Wimbledon, two teams that have been brilliant for goals this season. Quite shot shy if you look at their last season. Just 103 goals the two teams scored between them in 92 league games. That's an average of just 1.11 goals per game last season. But in their 6 games of this season between the two teams, they've scored 18 and 12, which immediately jumps it up to 1.5. Accrington's 6 games have produced 20 goals, Wimbledon's 22 goals. They're averaging 3.5 goals per game between them. Yet Unibet are giving us 22 to 23, so pretty much even money here on over 2.5 goals. Accrington had a really tough start to the season, but James Beattie's team have still managed to score in 4 of their 6 games, yet to keep a clean sheet. They've seen over 2.5 goals bank in the last 5 successive games in the league. Wimbledon, a bit of a mixed start to the season, fairly inconsistent. They have scored in all of their 6 games, only kept 2 clean sheets, seen 4 of those games go over 2.5. And they've also got that thrilling 4-4 result with Carlisle from last weekend, and Matt Tubbs, who's back to scoring form, 6 in 6 now. Look a real threat going forward, Wimbledon. Both sides really creaky defensively, but capable of scoring goals. Over 2.5, almost even money here, 22 to 23.
It should be a good game. It should be a good game, definitely. I'm just walking the barmaid walking past and thinking, what are these guys on? They're sitting so close to each other,
talking to a menu.
We should really leave here, I think, in the next. But wrap up, Mark, before we run at this pub.
Boring bet. Wolves to win away at Blackpool at 5-6 with Coral. 0-0 at half time. Correct score between Crawley and Fleetwood at 7-4 with Paddy Power. And over 2.5 between Accrington and Wimbledon at 22 to 23 with Unibet.
Right, let's go.